What's going on, guys? Your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ, and welcome to the RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. And today, I got my Week 1 defensive starts. I got 3 starts and 1 fade, and I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get right into the content. First up, I got the Commanders defense as a clear lock for Week 1 of going against the Cardinals, who look like a complete mess. They are a smash in my starting lineup. The Commanders going against the Cardinals should be a good game where we can get some points on the board for the Commanders defense. Because, man, the Cardinals, they released Colt McCoy, which was a pretty solid backup if you asked me last season. They traded from the Browns for Joshua Dobbs, who's been bouncing around the league for some time now. And they also have the rookie Clinton Toon, who's in the mix for the starting job. So it's kind of getting close to the season to be having a quarterback competition where I don't see any of these guys going downfield putting points on the board. The Commanders defense was also a defense that didn't get as much love as it should last season because, man, they were tied first with the Eagles with most players to have over 15 QB hits. So they were getting after the quarterback last year. 4th and fewest pass yards per game allowed, and they also allowed the 3rd fewest total yards per game in 2022. By the way, this is without their star defensive lineman, Chase Young, who only played 3 games last year. He's back healthy, and hopefully he could stay on the field. Jack Del Rio has his defense hitting on all cylinders, so this looks like it's going to be a bloodbath come Week 1. Commanders are a clear start. Now we head over to the Falcons defense, where I think this will be a safe play against the Panthers Week 1. Now, the Panthers, they're dealing with a lot of issues as well. DJ Chark dealing with a hamstring injury. Miles Sanders dealing with a groin injury as well. You got Terrace Marshall Jr. with a back injury, and Laviska Shenault spent some time in concussion protocol. So there's not much healthy playmakers over there for Bryce Young to go down the field and put a lot of points on the board. Now, I know the Falcons defense struggled last year, creating pressure and creating turnovers as well, but they did some investment over in the offseason with Bud Dupree coming over, Calais Campbell, and Jesse Bates, along with other playmakers they brought on the defense to kind of turn this defense around to get pressure to the quarterback. Now, speaking of pressure to the quarterback, now we look at the Panthers O-line in preseason, not much depth there, a lot of struggling there in the preseason where they allowed 7 sacks, 9 QB hits, and 25 hurry-ups, and they ranked 26 in pass protection as per PFF. So the Falcons, man, they could get to the quarterback and put some points on the board, but I'm not liking the chance of the Panthers going down the field, marching down the field, I should say, and putting points on the board. So Falcons defense seems like a safe play in Week 1. Now we head over to Baltimore's defense, where they're a clear lock against the Houston Texans in Week 1. This should be able to start the season strong and set the tone for the rest of the season, because we know the defense struggled against the pass last year. They allowed 232 pass yards per game, and the Ravens ranked 26th in the NFL last year. But this is a matchup where I think they could put up a lot of big points on defense and kind of keep CJ Stroud and that offense in check. The Ravens also performed very well in other categories last year. They were 3rd in scoring defense, 3rd with the fewest rush yards per game allowed, and they were 3rd in red zone defense as well in 2022. So this is a defense that I think can come out and put points on the board against a uphill battle that the Texans have against them. And it's also worth mentioning last season when they made that trade for RoQuan Smith, Week 9 into Week 18, after the trade, the Ravens only allowed 14.7 points per game. So this is a defense I think will have everything in check, including that run game with Dameon Pierce, because since 2020, the Ravens defense have only allowed 5 running backs to rush over 100 yards since 2020. So this Ravens defense is a clear lock for Week 1 for me. Now we're getting into a defense that I think you should be fading for Week 1. The New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Now, we see the Patriots defense come off the board all the time in fantasy leagues for a good reason. It's not that they're a bad defense. It's just that they're going to be facing a top 3 offense in the Eagles. And I definitely think that Jalen Hurts and company are going to be marching down the field and putting some points on the board. And one thing that the Eagles did in 2022 was play those top 10 defenses tough. I mean, if we look at the Eagles' offense, they put up 21 plus points in 4 out of 5 top 10 defenses they faced in last season in 2022. The one game that they didn't was versus the Saints, and Jalen Hurts didn't play that game. So I think this is going to be a tough battle for the Patriots to stop this top 3 offense putting points on the board. I do think it would be a risky play, man, and to look at other options, other streamer defenses that I will plug and play in that have better matchups. The Patriots defense on the season long should look good as an option, but Week 1, I'm definitely sitting them versus the top 3 offense in the Philadelphia Eagles. That wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports, but let's do a quick recap of 3 defenses I think you should be starting for week 1 and 1 defense I think you should be fading. First up, I got the Washington Commanders as a clear smash for week 1 with the quarterback issues that Arizona has going on right now. And number 2, I got Atlanta Falcons going against the Panthers. This is a division game, but I think the Panthers are going to struggle as well to march down the field and put some points on the board against the Falcons. Then I got the Ravens going against the Houston Texans with rookie quarterback CJ Stroud. I think the Ravens make a huge statement in week 1. Now, the one team that I think you should be fading is the New England Patriots versus the Eagles. They're going up against a top 3 offense in 2022. I think Jalen Hurts and company will march downfield and put some points on the board. But for a season long for the Patriots defense, I think they should be fine. It's just a risky play in week 1. So that wraps it up, and I definitely want you guys to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, RotoBaller Fantasy Sports, and make sure you guys follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.